How to be disciplined. So I'm gonna start off with one analogy that has multiple acts of discipline tied into it. And this is waking up early. People think of waking up early as you're either a morning person or a night owl. But the fact is, when you wake up early, even if you think you're a night owl, you likely get a lot more done during the day and are a lot more productive. It's not about whether you think you can get more done or are more productive at nighttime. For majority of night owls and just everyone, they all benefit from waking up early. But how can you be disciplined to actually start doing that? It starts at the night before. Are you disciplined to not get on the couch and start watching Netflix? And it sounds weird, but are disciplined to go to bed, to put the sheets on and get to bed early so that you can wake up early with more energy during the day, which gives you better workouts, more productivity, etc. But another point that I wanted to tie into that, because that one is just for that specific example of doing something before the action. But one thing I've realized is when you wake up early, it's super comfortable in your bed, you're warm, you don't want to get up. And one thing that I do personally is I just turn my lights on, turn my aircon off, and then that's pretty easy. But the hardest part is just getting the covers off, getting one leg out, getting the second leg out, opening the curtains. But from then on, it's so easy. You get up, you do whatever, you drink your water, go to the toilet, do your morning routine, and from that point afterwards, it's easy. But what does that mean? It means the hardest part of any action is getting mentally prepared for it and taking that first step. Because what's the hardest part of going to the gym? It's putting your shoes on. It's getting mentally prepared to then walk to your car, drive to the gym. Because when you're at the gym, it's pretty fun. For any task, the discipline starts when getting mentally and physically prepared and taking that first step towards the action. You can think about those two examples with any task and try to think how you can be more disciplined. But another thing that I have is when dealing with temptations, because I know a lot of my viewers, probably young guys, you know, gaming, junk food, pornography, it's all terrible stuff for us. And temptations are always gonna be there. And this is how I've managed to get rid of all my addictions and replace them with better habits. So when a temptation comes, say you love gaming and you're trying to quit it, or you wanna scroll, you wanna open Instagram, it's gonna be a wave at the beach. It's gonna be there. You can't do anything about the waves at the beach. They're gonna come in, and that's how you think about the temptation. They're gonna come in, they're going to be there, but even if they're there for hours on end, they're going to go away and it's gonna end up calming down just like the ocean. You can't do anything about it, but you can just wait them out and they're gonna disappear. And that has honestly helped me so much these past couple weeks, getting rid of things that are detrimental to my health, my actions, and being in control of your own hands, your body, your mind. That helps with discipline in every other action that you partake in, because you know that you have control over yourself and you're not lying to yourself all the time. So your mind actually trusts itself, because if you keep telling yourself, oh, I'm not gonna play the game, and then you go into play the game, it's just rewiring yourself to not trust yourself. So then you say you want to get up early, why would it trust itself when you're constantly lying to yourself in other areas? And another tangent I just thought of is, I've heard in psychology, discipline is a personality trait and people can actually sense it in you. So when you're more disciplined, people can sense it and they obviously like it because it's like a tribal instinct. If you trust yourself and you don't lie to yourself, people can see that, then you're not gonna lie to them. So it's gonna help you socially, mentally, physically, all of that. You might like to think that because your mind's set on something, you are that thing. So even though you're doing all these bad habits and you're not even doing any actions toward it because you think your mind's set on it, oh, I'm gonna be rich by doing nothing, that's not going to work. You are what you do. And I have a quote from Aristotle here, some philosopher, very wise and famous. We become builders by building, and brave by doing brave actions. So you are what you do. Even if you're thinking of doing all these things, if you're not doing them, it means nothing. And I have another video topic, I might even film a whole video on this. Your focus becomes your reality. This kind of does contradict what I just talked about, but your focus does become your reality. So if you're focusing on girls, junk food, scrolling, all that stuff that you see, you're focusing on that, it becomes your reality. Your dopamine baseline is rise, so you're losing your motivation, just all of that. Along with focusing on your goals and always keeping God and things you want to achieve in your mind, you will subconsciously start to do actions, but you have to also consciously do actions for that to work. This doesn't really tie into how to be disciplined, but this is motivation to be disciplined, because if you don't have control of your focus and your actions, you're just living in a body and mind that isn't yours and you're not in control of. But if you guys want to learn more about this topic, I'm currently reading Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday. And this is where I've got some of these ideas, and some of these are just what I have learned along my self-improvement journey. But yeah, to end off this video, I'll just read some stuff that I have highlighted in this book. Pleasure of excess is always fleeting, which is why self-discipline is not a rejection of pleasure, but a way to embrace it. So what this means is discipline is not trying to get rid of pleasure, because pleasure is always fleeting, which means it's only in the moment and then it runs away and you're left in a pit from the dopamine crash, and now that the pleasure's gone, you're not getting any dopamine. But discipline, it's not a rejection of pleasure, you're actually embracing it, because being disciplined in the long run gives you more satisfaction than any quick pleasure is going to give you. By being strict with ourselves, we take away others' power over us. So I can take this down the gym route, where you're putting in so much pain and discipline in your workouts. You're killing your body every week or maybe even every day, and nobody's gonna inflict that much pain on you. And if they do try, you're already doing worse yourself. But along with everything else, if you're reading, have timers on your social media, you're quitting your addictions, what are other people gonna have over you? Because you're literally depriving yourself of all that quick pleasure for long-term satisfaction and getting better every single day. And people they're not gonna have any power over you. You're gonna have full control. Honestly, this was just a quick video I wanted to film for you guys, because I've been disciplined this month. I've been focusing on actually being disciplined, and past 3-4 weeks or so, and it has really been helping me, and these things have really been helping me. Reading about discipline, also focusing on my goals, trying to construct my own reality of my life and taking full control, and I feel better than ever. Let me know your guys' best advice for being disciplined in the comments down below for anyone, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.